This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. How you feeling, baby? You feeling good?
Yeah, better, Big O. Thanks for asking. I'm about wrapping up my various cycles of medicine, so the cough is a little better. Thanks for asking. I'm here
Where
in the
you at
Miami
now?
Dolphins press room.
No, you're in the press room. Okay.
Yeah, the Dolphins have something coming up at 12:30, so look for some
12:30?
Dolphins coverage.
What availability are they giving you? The coach, or what's the deal?
No, I don't think I'm supposed to reveal like who's talking, but a couple of Dolphins players. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not the coach, it's players. Okay, all right, cool stuff. I like that. What'd you think of the Stephon Diggs deal?
Yeah, when you look at the guaranteed money for Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, and Devontae Adams, they're all kind of in the same range. The last year of Tyreek Hill's contract is, kind of a year that he'll probably never see. There'll be, a restructure or something if the Dolphins get to that point. There's a huge number on that last year. So that contract isn't quite as bad as it looks when you see, $30 million a year. So the Dolphins have structured their contracts pretty well. And this is just kind of where we are now in terms of how much a good wide receiver is going to cost.
Yeah,
So,
you answered what I was going to follow up with, that it seems like he signs deals that keeps them kind of flexible and that it doesn't really put them at major risk in tying them down to a bunch of money and crippling their cap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, most NFL contracts are club in the favor of the club. The numbers don't usually align with the crazy things you see on Twitter. Most of the players never actually receive that kind of money. But yeah, whether it's the running back position, the wide receiver position, the offensive line position, the Dolphins have found a way to add some good players. But it's not as though you look at any of those contracts and think, wow, that's just a terrible contract that the Dolphins are going to have such a hard time getting out of. And there have been some bad ones in the past.
So, Joe, are they done? Is there fringe players that they might be adding? Some kind of, role player type guys, maybe not the upper echelon, the JC Treaders and the kind of stuff that the greedy Dolphin fan wants to go sign top-notch free agents that are still left over. What are you hearing overall?
Well, it was reported this morning by Andy Slater that punter Thomas Morstead is visiting the Dolphins, and that is true. He is visiting. So it's a nice veteran punter, one of the best punters in the history of the NFL. And so hey, if you bring him in on a 1-year deal, I like that move a lot. And so the Dolphins don't have a punter, and they're not going to be on the field today or for the next 2 weeks. The first phase of the Dolphins offseason program is just about learning the offense and strength and conditioning. But it is nice to have someone with a strong leg available.
Yeah, that's definitely a position of need. How are you preparing your draft coverage now? Because early on there are no picks, but it's interesting that where they do have picks, it's where the players and the positions of need are also going to land.
Yeah, if you look at the 3rd and 4th round, and this is usually the case, there are some centers who are going to be on the board. 3 or 4 centers. Would surprise me if the Dolphins didn't draft one of them. 3 or 4 middle linebackers. Would surprise me if the Dolphins don't draft one of them. Obviously, if there's some player at a
running back. Maybe running back, right?
Yeah, certainly possible that somebody slips. Running backs usually slip. Middle linebackers usually slip. So it's smart of the Dolphins.
Defensive tackle. What do you think about that?
Yeah, certainly possible. Christian Wilkins can play nose tackle behind Raekwon Davis, and Zach Sealer can slide inside as well. And the Dolphins probably have a couple of 330-pounders on their practice squad. But yeah, certainly adding somebody to push Raekwon Davis, I think that would be something the Dolphins would be open to.
All right, and when you look at any of trade possibilities, is there anything left right now for the Dolphins do you feel that they can move for another draft pick if they wanted to try to get something else in this draft?
No, I mean, it seems as though. So you think about Mike Gesicki and you say, all right, well, would the Dolphins turn around and trade a Mike Gesicki? And I say no, and for a few reasons. One, you'd like to find out how Mike Gesicki could potentially fit into this Mike McDaniel offense. And then two, with the departure of Devontae Parker, who's a big target, when you look at Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle being guys who are, 5'10" or shorter, on third down and red zone, you'd like to have Mike Gesicki as basically your big receiver. And so, no, I don't think the Dolphins are going to trade Mike Gesicki. Devontae Parker is a trade that we obviously expected. Look, could there be a couple of scheme fit guys, an offensive lineman who doesn't quite fit as well in this zone offense? Sure. Could the Dolphins eventually flip a Solomon Kinley for a 6th rounder, conditional to be a 5th? Yeah, sure. But, could the Dolphins flip a Noah Igbenogany for a 4th rounder? Yeah, sure. But, I mean, to me, I'd rather just see how it plays out with those guys. No need to dump them.
Is there another player you feel that might end up getting a contract on this team?
Well, Christian Wilkins is the guy who makes sense to extend, and the Dolphins can probably make it work financially. It's not like they're, under the gun. And by the way, the Dolphins have a couple of players who, might very well have their contracts renegotiated or restructured. An Eric Rowe, for example. There's another guy or two that I'm not thinking of immediately, but if the Dolphins need that money, they might very well go to those guys and say, listen, Sethan Carter, he's a fullback tight end. So Sethan Carter and Eric Rowe, could the Dolphins maybe restructure, tweak if they need the money? Absolutely.
Yeah, but dude, if you brought Ingold in, are you really going to? Is Sethan's maybe on the bubble now, right? Because of the Hunter and Gesicki, and then you also re-signed the other tight end. What's his name now that I'm forgetting?
Smythe.
Yeah, Smythe. So I don't know right now with Sethan, because of that addition of the fullback, those numbers are going to be a little ugly for. You're not going to keep as many tight ends as you did last year, is my point.
No, but what you do is you say, you keep them in camp. And then you might remember Benardrick McKinney hung around last year. And once the Dolphins realized, we're not quite so high on this guy. I don't remember the timing, but they actually restructured Benardrick McKinney's contract, gave him less, and then cut him anyway. Right. So, I mean, listen, the NFL is a ruthless league. It's kind of like being a newspaper journalist. They'll cut your butt real fast.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, your business is really, really tough, my brother. Good thing is you have a little video that you can depend on a little bit here. We're helping you out a little bit here on this side too, so it's all good. What are you working on the Palm Beach Post? What is going to develop from these interviews this afternoon?
Yeah, it's 12:03, so I think it's okay to mention. I'm probably going to be writing something about Xavier Howard. Okay. And we'll look into how he feels about, being with the Dolphins long term, their commitment to him. I'm big on this idea that he's on a Hall of Fame track, that he could potentially go down as one of the greatest Dolphins of all time. So I'll talk to Xavier about that. And then my partner in crime, Hal Habib, he will probably write something about Emmanuel Ogbah. Probably the most under the radar transaction for the Dolphins this offseason. If the Dolphins hadn't brought back Ogbah at a pretty fair number, they would be scrambling, for defensive ends who aren't as good. Trey Flowers, guys like that, not as good as Emmanuel Ogbah. If the Dolphins have added Emmanuel Ogbah from the Chiefs or the Browns or something, or the Patriots, there would be a lot of hype and enthusiasm and excitement. So we'll shine a little light on the Emmanuel Ogbah return.
There's Hal in the background. I see him right there. All right. By the way, the other way. You got to look there.
Say hi to Big O.
Yeah. What's up, baby? Much love, Hal.
Big O always loops you in. He always brings up, make sure you read Joe.
I love Hal.
Yeah.
Always. I love Hal. Hal knows I love him, bro. He knows I love him.
He's a crafty veteran, sort of like Thomas Morstead, the punter the Dolphins might be signing.
Exactly.
I could draw a direct line between Hal and Thomas Morstead.
We'll wrap it up with this. You talked about the under the radar signing of Agba. So I thought about this. What is the most underappreciated signing by the Miami Dolphins this offseason by Joe Schad? Since I can't get you to give a damn A to anybody, give me who is going to be the most underrated signing out of all the signings that they did this offseason.
Well, I really like bringing in Teddy Bridgewater as a backup to Tua Tagovailoa, as opposed to Jacoby Brissett, who is from West Palm Beach. Yeah, I know, but I that's my coverage area. So
I know, but I'm going with this. I'm going with this.
Teddy Bridgewater is a better player than Jacoby Brissett. And he is a Miami guy, but aside from that, if something were to happen to Tua Tagovailoa, I have great confidence that Teddy Bridgewater will play well. So I like that signing. A little under the radar.
Okay, there you go. That's good. And for everybody on the chat board, please smash the like button. And who is your most under the radar pick or signing, free agent signing by the Miami Dolphins this offseason? Who it is? Who is it, baby? All right, and follow him on Twitter at Schad Joe, and catch his work at the Palm Beach Post, and subscribe and support people like Joe Schad and Hal Habib, of course, because that's my buddy.
We love Hal.
We love Hal.
You're the biggest Hal Habib advocate I've ever met.
He's a soccer guy, bro. He's like me. He likes all sports.
What did you do a soccer report with Hal Habib? That'd be cool.
We would. Well, back in the striker days, he and I used to, be able to chat a lot in fusion days. We don't have that anymore. So, it's kind of like that. I haven't seen him at the Inter Miami games. That's where I'm surprised he hasn't been going to those Inter Miami games.
We're plotting a media outing to a Florida Panthers playoff game. We're very excited about it.
Nice. Very nice. $100 says Armando Salguero will not be in that group.
No, he doesn't like hockey.
More people. All right. Anyway, we will see you next week.
Hey, bud. Take care.
You got to be good. There you go. That is Joe Schad with our Miami Dolphins report.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.